President of Western Nzima Traditional Council, Awolai Ano Ajayi III, has cautioned managers of Ghana Gas Project to guard against activities and actions likely to cause trouble and lead to litigations. Awolai Ano Ajayi made the statement when he addressed a mini durbar of chiefs at Beyin in the Jomoro district of the Western region. A report by Western Regional correspondent William Benjamin Peters.
The mini durbar was organized by Ghana National Gas Company to officially inform the Council of Chiefs of the second phase of the gas infrastructure project yet to be carried out by the company. Currently, the company is putting up structures to commence the second phase of the gas infrastructure project. The project involves the construction of a 25-kilometer offshore pipeline from Atuabo to Domunli in the Jomoro district and subsequently to Pestra-Honey Valley district. The project would introduce new tank farms to accommodate liquefied natural gas and liquefied petroleum gas. The expansion works also include the construction of a jetty, mini harbour, and other facilities to assist in the transportation and export of the gas products, particularly excess LPG. President of the Western Nzima Traditional Council, Awolai Ano Ajayi III, demanded accountable exploration of resources in the country. He urged Ghana Gas Company and its partners to avoid mistakes that characterize the establishment of the Ghana National Gas Company's gas processing plant and the Phase 1 of the gas infrastructure.
I believe this is a clear sign that what happened earlier on will not be repeated. What I'm trying to say is that the project is going to pass through people's farms, behind people's houses, etc. And what needs to be done must be done without any litigation.
According to Chief Executive Officer of Ghana National Gas Company, Dr. George Sipa Ajayanki, the projects will in the long run benefit all affected communities and the country as a whole.
We anticipate an increase in the production of LPG over the next year or so. And then if that happens, that means the trucking on the main roads of LPG will not or will be a bit dangerous because it involves a lot of vehicles, vehicular transport, trucking LPG on the road. And I think the road and the users of the road will not be accommodated the amount of product to be on the road. So the jetty is to help us export the LPG that is going to produce, the excess LPG that will produce by sea, so that we save our roads for the future.
The company, on behalf of government, donated a 32-seater bus to the Western Nzima Traditional Council. A report by William Benjamin Peters.
Now, residents and motorists at Amasaman in the West district of the Greater Accra region are appealing to authorities to upgrade road networks in the area. According to them, the deplorable nature of the roads is affecting economic and social activities in the area. Rosalind Sewopon visited the area and has come through with this report.
Although Amasaman is the capital of the Gan West district, residents say the poor road network does not depict the supposed capital. Apart from this stretch of the road, which is tarred, the remaining portions have gaping potholes, making it difficult for vehicular movement. Residents say the bad nature of the road is negatively impacting their lives and businesses. It's a Sunday, and the state of the road presents a business opportunity for these children, as they fill the gaping holes with sand in return for tokens of appreciation. Some drivers who spoke to the news team say they have to frequently replace spare parts on their vehicles.
It's so frustrating when coming home. As soon as you negotiate this curve, you begin to think about how to get home. And this has been the oldest, among the oldest districts in this Greater Accra. Ga district, and I think it has given birth to several districts. Ga West, Ga East all came out of this district. But the story about this district, I don't know whether there is actually somebody in control. Go from here down to 3 miles, you have to hustle your way through. And there's no sign, we are not seeing anything, even just common grading. We are not seeing anything done.
As you can see, the road is so much in a deplorable state. And one of the challenges this road, or one of the problems this road in its state, this current state is giving us, is that traffic, it causes so much traffic, because when vehicles get here, they will have to slow down. So if it has to take you, let's say, just from here to here, it should take you just about, let's say, 3 minutes. But sometimes you end up spending close to 20 minutes on this. And then when it rains there, it becomes mania.
The local GPRTU coordinator at Amasamai, Emmanuel Mensah, says drivers and residents will soon demonstrate if authorities fail to take action.
The challenges we're having here is the road. The road is bad in such a way that we're trying to even demonstrate.
Kate is a yam seller and complains the dusty road occasionally affects her business, as people are sometimes reluctant to buy her wares because of the dust.
To be honest, our road is in a deplorable state. The DC and MP are not doing anything about it. My business is sometimes affected because of the...
Rosalind Sewa Opong's report for Joy News.
Managing editor of the New Crusading Guide newspaper, Abdul Malik Kwekubakun, is predicting a Supreme Court interpretation of the Constitution to settle controversy over the procedure for appointing the next EC chairman. He believes that proper interpretation on the word advice will be key in understanding the procedure. His comments follow controversy generated after calls by opposition parties for the president to undertake broad consultations in the appointment of a new Electoral Commission chairman.
There's dispute about how to interpret 72. With some saying that because it's on advice. You see, take a look at the 144, the one that does with the Supreme Court justices. The two. It says that other justices may be appointed by the president consultation upon the advice of the Judicial Council.
Even 70, 71, you see consultation.
Yes, but that other one is triple.
Right.
It says on the advice of the Judicial Council.
Right.
In consultation with the Council of State, with the prior approval of Parliament. You see, tight.
Right.
Again, it shows that in that area too, presidential authority in terms of the appointment process is diluted.
It's not substantive.
Yes, it's very diluted. There must be reason for all these things. Look, because there's a contest out there, my view has been that we may find ourselves proceeding to the Supreme Court. Because you see, this thing about on advice is been observed more in breach than in observance. We may have just been very lazy about it. We haven't taken it serious throughout the constitutional period of the Fourth Republic. I'm not sure we have addressed ourselves seriously to it. And now it's coming to the fore.
Right.
I suspect if we are unable to use consultation and consensus building to deal with this issue, we might as well proceed to the highest court of the land and take an interpretative judgment on this matter.
A principal medical officer at the University of Ghana Health Services at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital, Dr. Emmanuel Chega, says there's the need for authorities to equip hospitals in Ghana's prisons to help deliver quality service to inmates. He says some inmates are thrown into jail because medical examinations are not conducted on them before they are locked up. He was speaking at the Justice for All program at the Akuse prison, where 4 inmates were discharged.
Doc, how would you describe the infirmary system generally in our prisons?
If you take all the security services, Ghana Armed Forces has a well-established health system. The prison service has. But Ghana prisons as yet doesn't actually have a health service system. An attempt was made in the 90s and 2000s to have the prison service have, I'm aware of, system. And I knew that they were also using at a certain time the Ghana Police Hospital. So what they now have is that they have infirmaries which are manned by nurses. The prison service doesn't have a medical officer at the level required for the kind of case, because what would have happened was that if there's they have a medical system, and I know they are working on that, because I've had some discussion with the DG of the prison service, and I know they're in the process of doing that. If there were a medical officer, then legally any of the inmates that come in, as we do pre-employment or entry medical exam to workplaces, they would also do an entry medical exam. So where issues of your medical history, your family history, your social history will be taken. And therefore, some of these things can be picked as the person comes in. Now he has this problem or this challenge, and therefore some of them are that. So I think the basic issue is we need now to quickly upgrade, and I am aware that the DG of the prison service has already started a process whereby they will have their own listen. But the other thing I want to ask is that it's not enough for us to leave it to the prison service. We all know that because of the situation in which we are now, most of the government services and facilities are not enough or adequate. And so we have public-private partnership. So now I wish that, for example, with this prison, where they have infirmary, in the next year I talk to her, tells me they refer cases to Akuse General Hospital. It should be possible that when new patients come in, whether within a week, within a month, then if it's possible, if there's a system put in place, since they are Ghanaians, are you getting me? And they qualified for, they have rights to be properly treated, and we do that for everybody, and they vote, then even the prison service for now doesn't have its own medical officers. Then the Ghana Health Service under the district director should be able to get the doctors from Akuse, where they refer them. Then they can come and then screen them.
Exactly.
Maybe on a Saturday.
Exactly like what you did today. So when you went around today, did you find anything interesting about the health status of the inmates here?
Yes, there are things which a lot of people complain about. They complain about the overcrowding, they complain about food, they complain about skin diseases, they complain about lighting system, they complain about the hygiene and the sanitary condition. But I can tell you that this one happens to be one of the, you yourself will confirm that it's one of the neatest, and then the prisons have been to.
You think all what we need at the infirmary is painkillers, first aid, or we need more?
Oh, certainly there are certain conditions that are prevalent in the prisons, and so we just need the nurses to be part of the general health system so that they can also be updated in what we are doing now, and so whatever they need can be I'm also aware that a lot of NGOs, churches and individuals bring gifts and things for them, but what we're trying to do now is to bring all of those people under, if not one umbrella, to come under one common platform, so that at the beginning of the year we can look at what the prison service need, what they have, what we can contribute, so that maybe if all the people here comes to Akuse is very good, we can say that Akuse is very good. Let's send some of the things to Insawam or some other place other than everybody coming here. So that's the kind of thing we are trying to do. That's why I joined as a medical officer. We want to see how through medical intervention, not necessarily even from government, but private-public partnership, we can then help improve the quality of life of prisoners, particularly the remand. The remand are not under the prison service, under care of the prison service. They are under the police service. They are only keeping them for them. So the way the prison service to handle them is difficult. They have to get permission from the prison authorities before. But even if there is an emergency, they take them to hospital, then they have to inform the prisons. And the challenge is if a prisoner escapes, how would the prison service explain it to
because the
police?
would be with
So therefore, some of these issues have to be resolved to make it easier for the prison authorities to know how to do their work. Actually, some of these are legal and then administrative issues that are beyond the ability of the prison service. But talking to them, those are some of the issues, concerns.
Finally,
in prison, many people come in, and then the prison environment also gives them psychological and mental problems, because I go on medical missions to different prisons and we see some of them. So it means that psychologists will be needed, psychiatrists will be needed, apart from the religious and social workers who should all needed to be part of this process of making our prisons what they ought to be, to reflect our human rights position before ourselves and global community.
Okay, thank you very much.